Youth Forum, a place where we shape the next generation, place where we discuss issues like relationships, career and business advice, education and religious matters, and much, much more. So sit back, watch, and be informed. Your host is Laban Bithi. Welcome.
Alright, a very good evening. My name is Brian Moses Owano, standing in for Laban Bithi, and this is another episode of Career and Growth. Now, my guests are with me in studio. We are going to discuss issues post-campus. Rather, we are asking ourselves the question, what next after campus? I'll allow my guests to introduce themselves from the far left.
Okay, good. How are you, viewers? My name is Margaret Mothoni.
Welcome, Margaret.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Martin Donyo, and as always, it's a pleasure to be here.
Alright, and now just kicking off our discussion, I'll begin with you, Martin. Have you ever tamaked in your life? Or can you take us through your post-campus life? How was it like?
Post-campus was quite interesting in this sense. In the course of my campus, I had volunteered with an organization called Junior Achievement. It's an NGO that works with schools. And along the way, they had an opportunity, and it came when I was heading to my 4th year. Now, the catch was I either defer my studies and go and take the opportunity, or hope that by the time I'm through with my 4th year, the opportunity will still be there. So when I went out, of course I didn't defer. I opted to do my 4th year. And then I had expected that I'd get that opportunity, which didn't come through. But also, when I was in 2nd year, I had worked on internship basis with a private company called Brooms Limited, which works with sanitation. They offer portable toilets and exhauster services. So when they had come to set up their offices in Mombasa, I had been approached, and I took up the offer. I worked there for some time. And so when I finished campus, this was one of the opportunities that I had to go back to. But immediately I finished, I got a 1-year contract with another organization that used to work with out-of-school youths called Digital Opportunity Trust. And so immediately after campus, I got that opportunity. I finished we finished our coursework in April. This opportunity came in November. And then after that, now after 1 year of that contract, I went back now to Brooms for another period of time. Yes.
So, Mr. Martin, having 3 jobs before finishing school.
3 opportunities.
3 opportunities, that is. Can we say that you're like, how do you get these jobs? Junior Achievement, Brooms Limited, Digital Opportunity?
They were opportunities that came simply through networking. In this sense, Junior Achievement was ran and still runs as clubs in schools. And so when I was in high school, I was a member of Junior Achievement. And I continued being intentionally active in the activities of Junior Achievement even when I was in university. And I participated in whatever activities that were in that region where I was in university. And so I still maintained that contact with Junior Achievement. Like I said, Brooms Limited had an offer when they were setting up shop in Mombasa, and again I got that opportunity through networking, because the managing director reached out because we had a relationship.
Please hold that. When you talk of networking, does it mean you have a godfather, or you do your work best that is recognized by the top management? How does it work?
I'll take, for example, Junior Achievement, and I'll also link it with Digital Opportunity Trust. I joined Junior Achievement when I was in high school. Within the span of my schooling to graduation, the same people that I had interacted with in Junior Achievement when I was a student were largely the same people that were still in that organization. And so because I remember the first opportunity I got with Junior Achievement in, I think, 2009, if I'm not wrong, was through a board member of Junior Achievement in Mombasa, who came to our college during a talk. Back then I was at Vision Institute of Professionals, and she spotted me and said, by the way, we have a gap in Mombasa. Whoever was running the operations in Mombasa left, and we just need somebody to step in before we can get somebody else. And since you are still a student, you could come in on an internship basis, which was a plus. So that relationship got built to that level. And so even when I went to university later on, I simply reached out to know what activities were being done in that region, and who was to help me rather get involved. And then thereafter, Junior Achievement again, I think I was in third year this time, the person that was running affairs in Mombasa was going on maternity leave. They had a big challenge getting somebody to step in for the period of the maternity leave. She goes back to my school, which was still active, asks if there's anybody that can help at least run the activities while she's away on maternity leave. My patron, or rather my former patron, fronts my name. You see? So, and that's how I got now to get those opportunities with Junior Achievement.
For how long?
And then incidentally, this same person that was going on maternity leave while in Junior Achievement left later on for Digital Opportunity Trust. And then she reached out because again we had already worked with them in Junior Achievement. So that's when I'm saying about networking, because there are people that we had interacted with at different stages of life.
Of course, we'll be talking about professional networking in our next episode. Just hold that point. I'll get to you. Can you please take us through your post-campus life? How was it like? Did you ever tarmac? Was it smooth for you? Was it a bending road? How was it like?
Okay. I must say that after graduation, I immediately got an opportunity.
Oh wow! Okay.
To work for a stockbroking company in Nairobi. I think I was attending my graduation ceremony when I was already had just started.
Oh, how did that happen? Like for somebody who is studying, and you know he or she is listening to this story of a woman who got a job before graduation. How did it work for you?
Actually, I just applied for a job in that company, and they took me in. Okay, the owner of the company doesn't know me, but he comes from our village.
Okay.
But nobody took me there.
Nobody
took me there, and so I was taken immediately. And I started working in the back office as a clerk.
Oh wow!
So I didn't tarmac.
Okay.
However, after 1.5 years, I was transferred to Mombasa. Then again, I think 1 year, the economy of Kenya took a downturn, and most companies retrenched massively. They downsized in Kenya. So the company that had the branch in Mombasa downsized together with their competitors. So I found myself now without a job. That is when I started. That was my first instant to tarmac. And I looked for a job. But what came to mind is that I can teach. So let me look for a college that offers, let me look for a college so I can teach there. Why did I go for teaching? It is because when I was in campus, I would go for teaching in village secondary schools. I never stayed without work during holidays, which could span 6 months. And that was good money. I was teaching maths, physics, chemistry. So it was very difficult to be without anything if you're doing sciences. So when now the economy of Kenya, late 90, actually at the beginning of 2000, that's when the economy became too bad. And I found myself without a job, and I thought, why not try for a college? So I started teaching. But I would get 2 hours per day. That was not enough. I had to lean down. I had to scale down my expenditure, and I would walk. It was a tough time. That was my first tarmacking.
Now, talking of mathematics, physics, chemistry, working as a clerk, what did you do in campus?
In campus, I majored in maths. Though first I did maths and physics.
So working as a club fitted you?
Was
it an inbuilt skill, or it's a skill that you acquired from school?
It's just recording. It's basic. When you're working in the back office, as a clerk, it's just recording, writing records. It's not very engaging. It doesn't require any professionalism. But
do you think the world of today, somebody can get out of school and be a clerk?
I don't know, but I would advise.
Things may have changed, right? Okay, Martina, I'll get back to your story. Now, you are talking of university factor. There is you talked of a club that you were in university, and now after school these people were looking for you. What role do post graduation, what role do what you used to do in school play in your life? You understand? Like there's clubs that we participate in at the university. What role do they play after you've left?
Now, it's very key for you to, when you're in the school setup, be it in high school or in campus, to just identify something that works well with you. Works well in this sense, that you feel either they promote what you believe in, or you feel some sense of fulfillment when you go out there and do it. Because I'll tell you, like I know of somebody who was a head boy when we were in high school, who was very active in Red Cross. Today, he remains very active in Red Cross, and not just that, he actually got an employment opportunity and is quite senior in Red Cross, because he found something that worked well with him. It was not just another club where he'd go because all students are supposed to participate in a certain club. So it's very key that you identify that place where you feel resonates well with your ambitions, and just be active. Because funny thing is that some of these clubs and societies or these activities that we do in the school setup could be a build-up to what it is that you will do in future. It's very possible. Yes. So it's very key for any student at whatever level, secondary or tertiary, to identify what makes them fulfilled and pursue that. Because for me, I'll tell you, it was because of that aspect that I was active in high school with junior achievement, that I got the opportunities that came thereof from junior achievement, and then it gave me a network of people that could actually say, we know this young man, we have seen him do this and this, and we are confident that if we give him this opportunity, then he can pursue it. And that is also what led now to the opportunity in DOT, Digital Opportunity Trust.
So that means that your participation in your school may impact you.
It surely can. Yes.
Okay, so I want to get back to you, Maggie. Times have changed. The older days where you could go to school, get good grades, go look for a job and find a job, may be over, for lack of a better word. What do you advise a student? You realize that in Kenya right now, 65 to 80% unemployment rate, and it said that out of campus, after campus, maybe 20 to 30% of those students may secure job opportunities. What is your advice to this 85% if you find yourself in that bracket?
I am aware of that challenge, and today what I would advise any graduate is, first of all, to get what is available at heart without considering relevance to what they studied, as long as they are able to do it. The package may not be a big deal, because what are we looking for? We are looking for a place whereby you will not be idle, feeling hopeless and desperate, but it engages a young person in doing something. Then it is in that place whereby he is able now to think constructively and even get some experience. And he's able now to prepare to take off to maybe where he wanted to pursue, whatever he wanted to do, or maybe something else. Peace of mind is very important. Two, if one doesn't get an opportunity, what about entrepreneurship? I happen to be teaching at the college level, and I realize nowadays every diploma program, certificate program, I don't know, degree level, I'm not aware, but they have incorporated a subject called entrepreneurship, whereby the aim of entrepreneurship subject is to prepare the student to engage in economic generating activity that is suited to their area of study, because the government is aware that there are no job opportunities. So we prepare the mindset of the learners through that subject of generating business ideas and investing in them. So I would also encourage the young people they can even get into self-employment. It was wrong. I would say that that aspect of us thinking that we must be employed, it was induced in us when we were in school, and it wasn't the right thing. Because today you realize those people who are moving the economy, like my age mates, there are those people who never went to the university. There are those people who went maybe at diploma level, and then they put their hands onto something. They juggled up here and there until they found their place. And they have been toughened and they are able to do great things.
And so, Maggie, talking of entrepreneurship, I'm aware of entrepreneurship as a unit at the university, in colleges, and in any level of tertiary education, that is. But students are saying that these courses, these units that they have to do is not really getting into the insight of, or rather the reality outside the world. For example, you realize that, for example, entrepreneurship, is it true, or rather, what is your view when students comment, rather say that these basic courses are not really giving what is in outside the world, that is? Like, for example, they say it's full of theory, or rather, it's not going that deep. So it's not easy for somebody to really relate to what you studied in school to the real life experience.
I have had a chat with one of the lecturers who was involved in the early stages of entrepreneurship. And he said that the rationale of introducing that into college is that a student was supposed to come up with a business which he can actuate immediately after leaving college. So that means it should be within the cost, it should be doable, it should not be theoretical. Yeah, it would be long. I know sometimes we may be teaching for the sake of teaching and make money, but it's wrong, because it's wrong. But the objective is that the learner should come up with a business idea, which if he fails to procure an employment, he can easily roll out the business and do something. That is the goal.
Martin, I'll ask this question to you as well. Now, entrepreneurship as a unit, you understand? Did you do entrepreneurship as a unit at the university?
No.
It was introduced some years later.
But then I think somebody once told me that every job you always learn it on the job. In this sense, school can never teach you real life. No matter what you do.
We are having wrong expectations.
Very wrong ones. I'll tell you for example, let's take medicine, for instance. When they go to work with those, they call them, I think they call them cadavers. You see, they deal with real bodies. You see, that's not a person. It's a body. So it still does not give you the real thing. You understand?
Yeah.
So education is limited. So I think it's important that students lower their expectations. Yes, it will be a lot of theory, and that's why I think in previous shows we've said it's important for people to volunteer. Give yourself out there. Even give your time. But what you're gaining makes what you are learning very relevant and practical. Yes.
Martin, there's a friend of mine who once told me, he's a judge, and told me that there is a friend of his as well, who was his classmate. The friend began selling mandazis at the university, and was doing law at the same time. He tells me that he's a judge in some court here in Mombasa, but the friend sells mandazis to date. So he was saying, it is not good to begin a business at the university. What's your view on that?
I would be indifferent. It depends. It depends with why you began that business. And most of the time as students, we want that extra coin because maybe you don't get enough from your parents, you don't get enough from the help. But eventually, I think it is an added experience. And the lawyer is still selling mandazis. That's what you're saying. The friend who started selling mandazis in school.
Yes.
Now the question would be, are they still selling mandazis because they compromised on their education while concentrating on mandazis?
Of course.
Or they graduated and then weighed the options. So, by the way, can make more money from mandazi. It's more fulfilling because there's nothing wrong in selling mandazi. At the end of the day, what matters is, does it put food on my table? Does it fulfill my financial needs? And does it give me the fulfillment that I need? I think that's the most important. Yeah, that if that lawyer weighed and saw, I'd rather pursue mandazi selling, and that mandazi selling is meeting his financial goals and needs, and he's fulfilled, why not? You know, so there's nothing wrong. I sold t-shirts in campus for some time. They were even branded. I just coined a name and it gave me an experience. You know how tough it is to sell, you know, and you know that selling might not be for everyone.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so I think it's important only that you don't lose focus on what is important, because and by the way, most students do a lot of business. I know of students that even bought photocopy machines, you know, with their help money, and they could photocopy things for people.
Yeah.
There are people that even opened cybers with. So it's a learning experience, so long as it does not derail you from your main focus. Yes.
Okay, Maggie, Martin is talking about volunteering. Now, as a student, you have bills to pay, you have things to take care of. This is a time when your parents have left you because they believe you are done with school. How do somebody achieve his economic goals at this time that you are volunteering in a company? Just from your own point of view.
Volunteering.
Of course, Martin will tell us how he survived.
As long as it can give you the basic rent and food, it's good to go. If it can give you rent and food, that is good to go, because you need experience. You need to put your heart somewhere.
But Maggie, most of these companies do not even pay you a coin. Of course, they shouldn't. Okay, I don't think if they should, but most of these companies do not give you anything.
Payment is a favor. I'll tell you for free.
Wow. I think it would be unrealistic to expect the volunteer to take care of all his bills.
Yeah.
It is not ethical. I think it's unfair. It's exploiting the needs of these unemployed youths. That is what I can call it. However, if the parents can afford to give him fare or her fare, I would propose that, because the parent is helping the child to continue in acquiring experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, fare. That is what I would advise, because there is no benefit in staying at home. Alternatively, a business.
Martin, how did you survive?
Well, you are simply still under your parents' roof at that point. And well, for me, the organizations would give you a small stipend. It was called an allowance, which was key. But like I was saying, sometimes, and I think what Maggie is talking about is very key. If you are still under a roof somewhere, and you can afford, because some of these organizations that will not even pay you, because I also know of them, some that will ask you to pay for you to attend internships there. There's a reason why. And some of those organizations that will ask you to pay will give you some of the best recommendation papers that you can ever go with anywhere. Papers that will open doors, you know, because now they know the value that they give. So it's two ways. If you can still afford a roof over your head and transport to that place, take it up, even if they don't pay you. And I can assure you, most of the time, you'll be the most overworked. Even when they don't pay, you'll be the most overworked. But take it gladly, because whatever experience you're getting cannot be taken away. Yes.
Martin, you've talked of over 4 companies that you've worked with, and I know you've worked with other companies to date. I know you resigned, you're doing your own stuff. How did your life then impact what you're doing today? You have so many trainings, you've gone through, you know, so many volunteering and so many internships, that is.
Now, like Digital Opportunity Trust, where I went in immediately after campus.
Yes.
Before you start that program, you are taken through a very rigorous, I think it's a 2-week training on several things. Entrepreneurship was one of them. Life skills was one of them. There was something called literacy skills, and there was also something to do with ICT. Experience, learning that I could not get through my campus life, learning that I should have paid to acquire. You understand? While I was at Brooms, I was in charge of operations, and I was taken to a management training. Quite expensive. I think the cost was about 45,000. The company paid for that. skills that I still have, skills that I still retain. So it's very key that even as you work with these organizations, at the end of the day, it might not be your ultimate stop, but there's something you acquire. I now have skills on how to deal with people. Yes, school taught me psychology and how people behave and all that.
Yeah.
But these organizations have given me a real life opportunity to deal with stuff, to deal with people, to know how to be empathetic when you're dealing. Just because somebody calls you boss does not really mean that you should trample on them because you are the boss. I remember at some point when we were at Brooms, we used to deal with the portable toilet. So several times I'd go out with the staff and we'd be there carrying with them those portable toilets, placing them on the truck.
Yeah.
And then later on, I think when I was leaving, because we had a meeting, they told me, you know, we never thought that our boss could go out with us late in the night to carry those toilets onto, because they know you are the boss, so you should be backing orders and you know.
Yeah.
So it has given me an experience, and just to be a good human being and to make a difference to the people that you deal with. So there are things, there's a way I treated people when I started out that is not the way I treat people now, especially my juniors, people that report to me. I now know how it feels, for example, because along the way I have fired and I have hired. I know the pain of firing, even when it is not me. You know, so experiences that I would not have got had I not been in these organizations. Yes.
Maggie, you're a lecturer. Do you believe that there are fake courses, for lack of a better word, in campuses?
They used to be in our time, and even maybe today they may be there. But it's a lot of the government to take care of that. And the parents and the runners is to identify the value of some courses so that they keep away from the valueless. Yeah.
Martin, do you believe that there are fake courses?
Fake in what sense?
Like it's a course you do and you will become nothing in the set.
Like Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah, we used to have
From
those.
the view, from the society view, that is.
Like I still struggle with. I think there was sociology. There was also anthropology, and I have friends that really took time, really tarmacked to get somewhere that you can fit in the job market. But incidentally, you see, somebody once said that the reason we go for this higher education is simply to make us competitive, because they'll simply ask those with a relevant degree. Yeah. At least now it gives you an edge, you know. Then when you finally get that opportunity, then people now realize, hey, this one, although they did anthropology or Bachelor of Arts, and it was Bachelor of Arts general. Now what is general? You know, where do you fit in? What line do you take? But incidentally, there are people that have been very proactive, even with those fake or useless courses, and they have found their way. And like Maggie was saying, they tried it here, they tried it here, they tried it there, and eventually they made it. But what matters at the end of the day, over and above the paper that you carry, is your skill. What do you bring to that table? Because we can all come with PhDs, we can all come with masters, but eventually these other skills, and maybe it's something that can be discussed later, but the soft skills, what else do you bring on that table? Because most people think once you get that paper, it's enough. That paper will never go to work. It will only get you to the job. But what makes that extra difference is what else does Brian bring that Martin cannot bring.
Yeah.
That is what will make that difference. That is what will determine how high you rise, how fast you rise. You know, very key, very important.
Now, Maggie, do you mean that after graduation, sometimes you go to a job and you feel that you're being used? Do you mean it's right to be used?
Now, even after you've been in a job for a long time, sometimes it happens. It's just that one has to cope with it. Yeah.
I'll give you this story of a lady who went to a company and worked for 6 months. They're saying, it's called probation? For 6 months. Then later, after the 6 months were over, she was told to work for another 6 months so that he can be trained well. This is offering free service. Do you think there are companies who are taking advantage of students who come out from the campus?
I wouldn't rule that out. But I was also thinking the economic hardship or the narrowing of the profit margins, it may be forcing companies to lower maybe the benefits or the perks they used to give to graduates as they join. They go there for employment, for internship, and even during probation. They may have been forced by circumstances to do that. Two, there are so many people maybe who are looking for, especially internship. Let me go back to internship. There are so many students, every now and then colleges are rolling out for internship. Imagine companies paying for each one of them, and they are struggling economically to maintain their profit margin. So I think we may look at it understandably. And we understand them. However, if they are there, the person is just to hold on as he waits for something better or he looks for something better.
Martin, there are companies who employees to trainees ratio at 20 to 80. Is this right?
20 to 80.
The question would, the answer would come based on where you sit. If you sit on the side of the student or the worker that is going to look for that opportunity, you might feel it is unfair. But Margaret is talking about something very key. The truth is, when you sit on this other side of the employer, and you have to break even, you have to make a profit so that those people get whatever small they feel is small. And I'm not saying that there are people that don't, there are not people out there that exploit people, they are there. But then, when you sit on this other side, you realize some of the expectations that people come with are not real. And my request to the young people there would be, let us just temper our expectations. Let us not have these very high expectations. Oh, you know, this company, it's a multinational. Yes, it is. But, and they make a lot of money. Yes, they do. But at the end of the day, the tax man is there, and so many other things. Maybe they are servicing loans. That is one side of the story. There are others that can actually, yes, pay well, but they simply exploit people. When you get into such a place, I think it would only be prudent for you to make a calculated move. These people can actually pay well, but they are simply taking advantage of me. 6 months probation, thereafter 6 months probation. There are labor laws that prohibit such things. So simply ask for a better contract, or look for somewhere else. You know, even as we are saying that offer your services, volunteer, don't be available for misuse and exploitation. You know, but go in with measured expectations, and then weigh. If you went in and the agreement was that you'll be on a 6 months probation, then rightfully after those 6 months you should get something else. It should not be an extension which is not also explained. You know, because if they say that maybe you're not well trained, and personally you feel actually I still have a lot to do in terms of training, yes, that's okay. But if you feel totally that you're being exploited, two options: you pursue the labor laws, or you simply walk out.
And Martin talking of the labor laws, the reality on the ground is, if you complain at work, you may not be employed anywhere else in this nation. Is that true?
Not
Especially when it is known that you complained by other companies. For example, let me give you an example. I'm a hotelier, then I complain about my hotel, right? The hotel that I work for. Then, of course, I'll need will I need a letter to move to another company? Of course I will. These people are connected. When they realize that I left that place because I complained, I may not be employed anywhere else. So most people are exploited, but they fear, because I just have to go through this. What's up with that? That's true.
Then it is because industries have their own networks. Industries have their own networks, particularly even in the hotel industry. They have their own networks. So just be smart. If you feel that you're being exploited, look for a smart way of living, so that you also save the future opportunities.
Yeah.
Now, I heard you saying complaining. Complaining and communicating. Complaining is actually unethical. But approaching your employer and making a request, justifying it in a respectable way, is what is expected, and it's in order. But complaining and talking ill about the company is not professional, it's not good.
Going on social media and it's very common nowadays.
So it's okay. The person should make the proposal.
0715397620 is our phone number. You can call us, you can communicate with us, ask your questions. If you need any guidance, we are available to help on that as well. Now, Mr. Martin may be giving you a parting shot for this show.
We were talking about what next after campus, which was our topic for today. And I think from even our experiences, what you'll realize is that everybody has their own path. What is most important, measure your expectations. Don't go out there with very high expectations, because I can assure you you'll be disappointed. It's a guarantee. When you have very high expectations, you'll be disappointed. But at the end of the day, as you measure your expectations, understand that whatever opportunity you get to work, to use your skills, to showcase what you have, is an opportunity to open another door. Most probably a better one and a bigger one. So go out there with a very positive mind and make sure that whatever chance you get, make the very best out of it.
Maggie, your petition?
What I would suggest is that whatever opportunity that comes the graduate's way, he should put the best into the organization. And he should harness the skills they have. Rather, it's about giving to the company, giving to that small or big business. That is what will count at the end of the day. That is what will cause the employer to identify and notice them, not the expectations, not the facts.
All right, and just like I said, my name is Brian Moses Owano, standing in for Laban Midi. Measure your expectation is not a straight path anymore. Now, if you get a chance to run away from poverty, run away like a madman. See you next time. Bye-bye.
How can a young person be consistent on a purpose? How can a young person...
You see a person doing or behaving a certain way. It is out of information. You dress like you think. You talk like you think. Out of what is inside here, the fullness within here, that's what the mouth speaks. So what you have in your head, you behave like that.
What do you understand by social media?
Yeah, social media, it's a platform, it's a connecting platform
Right.
Just as the word goes, social media. It's a platform for mostly socializing. It's a media of exchanging information.
To be inspired, be ready to be transformed, be ready to get something great, something that is going to change you. Be ready to receive a word for you.
Alright, a very good evening. My name is Bro.
Welcome to JM Youth Forum.